So I've been thinking that since the orange building is largely empty right now, aside from a couple of support staff going through and cleaning the place or working at the reception, we could probably turn that into a hardware development building. Now, in saying that, I did mention at one point that we could maybe put some hardware development over in this new building, but well, we have marketing in here now, so I don't think it makes too much sense to do that. We, of course, have porting and updates in here, and I don't want to make this building any bigger than it is, although I do want to come in and set up some manufacturing in the back of our warehouse building. So hardware seems like it makes sense, especially given that in the last episode I asked about what we should develop first, and for the most part it seemed to be a console, which I'm very excited about. I like the idea of making a console because we also get to make a controller. And I was thinking that maybe the console could tie into our digital distribution platform, which in this case is Nexus. We have Nexus 2 up at the moment. We are working on Nexus 3. And so maybe our console could just be called Nexus. I don't think we can actually call it that because we have a product already called that, but it could be Nextbox or something dumb. We're going to come up with a name for it at some point today because we are going to be working on a console at some point today. But that's kind of where my mind is going. We sort of tie the Nexus brand to our console, and it's kind of like you're taking Nexus and putting it in a box, so you get the Nexus box. It's a long shot, but I like the lore connections there because we've been doing Nexus for a while. I don't remember when we did the first one, but we've had a digital distribution platform for a while. And to be fair, we could probably get Nexus 3 out the door. We have a good few bugs fixed, but I think what we'll do is sit on it until January of 2009, which is just a couple of months away, and that'll be fine. We also have over 1,500 verified bugs in FrameOS 2 right now, which is really concerning. But if we look into the updates, we are working on updating FrameOS 2. I'm just slightly tempted to take that over and do it myself. So I think I'm going to do that just because I kind of want this update done as quickly as is possible. So I'm going to go ahead and put the operating system team onto that particular task because the updates team is taking its sweet time doing it. And in other news, Plumbob is coming along nicely, Space Command 4 is coming along nicely, and Private Stabby Face is coming along nicely as well. So I think what we'll do is have a bit of a look at some upcoming releases and see what we're dealing with in December. So there's no antivirus there. There is antivirus in April. There is none in Harmony Nexus, another company with Nexus in its, or another thing with Nexus in its name. There's none in May, and then December, there is another antivirus right there. Now, I don't think Plumbob is going to take that long to do, so I'm almost tempted to announce a September release date so we can market this thing for quite a while, and I think that is what we're going to do. So we're going to say September of 2009 for Plumbob. We can go ahead and start marketing this with Marketing Team 1 as well. We'll get that to be a nice top priority. We probably don't want to send out press builds, but we will hype this with good old Marketing Team number 1 as well. And we'll just see how it goes. We'll see if that works out. We'll see if that ends up being a good idea. I might be a little bit ambitious, but I think we can get it done in a good amount of time. And in other news, we do keep having this issue with not enough products in stock. Now, this is for Voxel 2. I think at the moment we're working on Voxel 4. It still has 47,000 and a half active users, but it has nothing in stock. If we have a look at manufacturing, Voxel 2 is aiming for nothing right now. So I think what I'm going to do is manually go in here and say, let's put 10,000 copies in stock, and we'll see if that's a thing that we can figure out. We'll see if that helps us out and maybe solves that issue. It would be nice to not have that problem. And it's also nice that we just made $37 million. $44 million was just made from sales, which isn't coming from FrameOS 2. So I'm assuming, yeah, Echo 4 just did $16.9 million. So we're doing pretty good. Echo 4 is slowly climbing the ranks as one of our more profitable pieces of software. Sergeant Stabby Face 2 is up there as well. I still love seeing that. And I love that it's still making money. That does make me really, really happy. But I am enjoying that, you know, I can do whatever I want at this stage of the game. We've beat the game. Let's be honest. I don't have to make a console. I don't have to make phones. I don't have to make office software. We've already beat the game. We have more money than we will ever spend. And if we just keep going with the automated tasks, we'll be totally fine. But I think what I'd like to do is start working on some office software. I think it would be a good idea, and I want to get an idea of what we're dealing with here. It's going to be 2D systems, audio, and network. And I think the way I'm going to do this is create a new team. I think they will go in the office or the orange building, and then the upper floors in here can be for hardware. And given that we don't need a huge team for this, but I think I'm going to give it a decent sized team. So we'll go in here, we'll create a new team. It's going to be the office team, essentially. We'll get that added, and they can be a nice sort of, I don't know, a nice purple color. I don't think we have much purple in this building, so I think I'll go for a slightly darker sort of purple color, maybe slightly less saturation and a little bit darker again. I like that color for the office team. And what we'll do is get these 3 rooms assigned to the good old office team right there. And then this room is going to be for a project management leader, the project manager, essentially, because I'm thinking that office software can probably be automated fairly quickly. I don't really think we need to worry too much about going in and being super creative with that one. So that's going to be the plan. But first, I want to select all of these carpets and change those out to be that nice sort of deep purple color that we have right there. I think that looks pretty good. And I think doing the same thing with the chairs, yeah, really brings it all together, which is absolutely fantastic. So what we'll do is go in again to manage teams. We'll go to management voxel, and I'm going to just rename this because I want to copy management voxel. I'm going to copy the team, and it's going to be management, I guess. I don't have a name for the office software yet. I'm kind of thinking notebook. I like the idea of Nerdrosoft notebook for the name of our office software. So I think we'll just, for now, we'll call it management notebook. And we can go in and say that this little office here is going to be for management notebook, which is slightly problematic. What's this? The room is assigned to a team, which is not allowed in any of the rooms leading up to it. Okay, so I think we need to allow people to go through this room. And for the life of me, here's what I'm looking for. We want to allow pass through, allow employees to pass through this room, even if their team isn't allowed. There we go. So that might cause some problems. We might see some people in the office team complain a little bit about other teams being in their office when the manager goes through, but hopefully that's not going to be too much of an issue. So what we can do is immediately go in. We'll get ourselves someone that can do, I guess, lead and programming is fine. We don't need compatibility. And we want to say automation isn't an issue. HR is, and socialization is. We'll also say multitasking and see what we can do. Sorting by skill, we have Gwendolyn McFarland. That's a great name. And you, I think, are going to be not the management, the office team leader. You're 46 years old, which is totally fine. And we can go ahead and get this all sorted out. So I guess before I even hire anybody, I do need to look at what we're doing with this product. So we will call it Nerdrosoft Notebook. I like having Nerdrosoft at the front of that. I think that's a good way to go about it. It's going to be office software. It is default, which is totally fine. And it could be subscription based. I don't think did we do subscription based for plumbob? I think we did, if I'm not mistaken. Project details, does it tell me in here if it is subscription based? I don't think it does. I think we did that though. I might be wrong, but I think for now, maybe we pass up subscription based just to be safe. That seems like a fair bet. We'll also call this the, it's a notebook. What do we have in a notebook? We have pens. How can I use pen in the name of an engine? It's going to be the Pengine. Yeah. Good job. Good job, me. That's, That's what we're going for. So we're going to have everything in this Office software. We are going to do automatic page layouts, animations. We can do slides. I don't need to give it everything necessarily. I do want database connections and cloud backup. I think that's important. And immediately, this has more than enough expected interest. So I think honestly, this will do the job, and that's totally fine. We'll do $90 for the price. It's an original IP. It's about half a year for whatever team is selected for it right now. And the 2D editor can be Pixel 5 with good old, oh, okay. Let's have a look at release dates. Nerdsoft Echo 4 is what I'm looking for. Operating systems for this guy, we want to sort by active users. I'm really not too worried about putting it on everything, but I do think this top one and then both versions of FrameOS is more than fair enough. So we'll go for that. In terms of analyzing the market, lower is better. So in this case, we want to go a little bit further on word processing, which is totally fine. Although we could auto balance this for, 100% interest and only 3% wasted. I don't know though, because I feel like going into word processing is better because that's like where the market is, you know? That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But then I don't know, somewhere right in the middle. I mean, auto balancing this, I'm never quite sure what to go for. Either we analyze and we apply the targets this way, or we auto balance this way. Let me know in the comments. If you know what the objective best way to do this is, let me know in the comments. I've seen a lot of feedback over the last couple of years about this system, and I'm yet to really figure it out, which is partly my own fault, but well, we're here. All right. We're gonna go with this for now, and that'll be fine. So the operating system team is not who I want to deal with this. We're going to say we'll have the Office team do it. I think we will have these guys sort of do this manually for the first run, and then I can throw it into a project. I think that's probably fair enough. And to do this, it's recommending 5 designers, 8 programmers, and 1 artist. Interesting. And it's 2D systems, audio, and network, which I'm fine with. Approximately 13 years for the for the lead designer right now. That's okay. We are going to develop this, which is totally fine. Size of the team is quite small. Totally fine. Not worried about that. I would like to pause the project though, because I want to double check what it needs. So 5 designers, 8 programmers, and 1 artist. We can work with that. We can totally work with that because we have enough space in here for 11 and 11. So 22 people can work on this. I think we might just do, I don't know, some kind of healthy mix seems like a good shout. Okay, so this is looking a little bit better. We have a decent amount of designers. We do need 1 more programmer, and we have enough artists. Obviously, HR management is set up to deal with all of that. So the Office team should be able to go ahead and start working on Nerdsoft Notebook, which is absolutely fantastic. So I'm not too worried about bringing in someone to project manage that right now because I don't think that's necessary. But I would like to have a look up here because it's been a while since we released a first-person shooter and your fans are noticing. That is a bit of a problem, although we are working on, private stabby face, so it should be fine. We will get there. We also have some people that are unhappy with their job. That's going to be Numbers Collins in Marketing 3. What's your problem? There's nothing to do. Is Marketing 3 not doing anything right now? Yeah, they have no tasks. Interesting. Porting 1 also has no tasks. I mean, the management guys, they all have stuff to do, so I'm not worried about that. But we might want to look, same with systems research now that I think about it. It is January 2009 as well, so systems research can 100% have something to do. Porting 1, we might want those guys to start working on some stuff. So I guess, with all that said, let's have a look at research. Let's do systems as we usually do. I love seeing all this money. That's amazing. Systems 2009, we'll get those guys working on it. We're still working on the patent for 2008, which I think we'll get with no trouble whatsoever. And then Porting Team 1, we need to have a little look and see what I can get them to do. So if we look at my releases, I mean, Pixel 5, if I'm not mistaken, should be, we're working on Pixel 6 updates. Are you guys working on Pixel 5? Are you working? You're not doing anything with Pixel 5 right now. Interesting. The Pixel project is not really doing, I mean, it is doing support for it. So it is probably, yeah, it is handling porting. So Pixel 5 is going to get ported by this project as well. So these are all automated, basically. So I don't need those guys to do anything with Pixel Echo. I could get them to do some stuff with Frame OS, but it's a porting team, so probably not. Voxel as well, now that I think about it. It's doing its own stuff. So the porting team really, until things like Plumbob go out and Space Command and Private Stabby Face, they really don't have much to do. So hopefully they'll manage. Hopefully they're not going to be terribly, terribly bored. And let's see, are they going to manage to steal anything? They did not. Good. That's what we like to see. That's where we want to be. That's what I'm looking for. All right. What I would like to take a look at is, yep, $28 million. Not bad. And what are we looking at in here if we sort by release? And I want to have a little look at last month. 13 million for Echo 4. Not bad. Now, it is January 2009, as we know, so I think it probably makes sense to get Nexus 3 out to the people. We'll move that up there to be a nice top priority, which is what I'm looking for there. And if we have a look, Nexus 3 is... it still doesn't have all the features, which is frustrating, but that's... I mean, the tech levels are up to date. The quality could be better. I'm sure it's fine, right? I'm sure it's okay. We could update it if we wanted to, bring the networking up to date, the 2D and the systems up to date. I think what we'll do is throw the OS team at that, and I guess the updates guys can work on that one as well, just to bring Nexus 3 up to a bit of a better standard, right? That seems like it probably makes the most sense, although the updates team is, well, Fabian's letting them down again, which is really, really disappointing. Also, a bunch of complaints. Cooks are having problems, employees are having trouble concentrating, and some people are unhappy with their jobs. I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. You were fined about $200,000 for failing to file a tax report for 2008, but saved $949,922 in tax optimization. That is interesting, because that means that my accountants are not good enough anymore, which I'm slightly concerned about. Let me have a look at my accounting team very quickly. They're right here. There's 8 of them right now, and they're in an office that has room for 11 people. So I think it's fair to say we could maybe get a couple more accountants, and that's probably a good idea. So we have a leader, we have 7 people. We can just do 11 of them, and that'll be fine. So there'll be a bunch more people on that team, which is hopefully going to sort me out in terms of accounting going forward. I'm a little bit annoyed that that's happened, but if worst comes to worst, we can expand the account. Who are you people? Hold on a minute. What team are you supposed to be on? The antivirus team? Have I messed this up? Because that's a whole lot of antivirus people in an office they're not supposed to be in. How have I managed to do this? Did I not, hold on a minute. Did I not assign them an office? Am I slightly losing it right now? Did I not assign the antivirus team an office? Did I genuinely forget to do that? They're not over here, are they? No, they're not. Hold on a minute. Does the antivirus team, wait, antivirus, they're purple. That office is purple. So is that one. Wait, no, that's not what I'm looking for. This is the purple office. So hold on. The antivirus guys are in here. How many people are on that team? There's 12 of them. I think they are supposed to be in here, and I just forgot to actually assign it. So that is antivirus, and then this is going to be limited to antivirus team leader, and that should be fine. Interesting. Okay, in that case, I can't move accounting into the office across the way, but I shouldn't need to. There are more of them now, so that shouldn't really be too much of a problem. I also want to have a look here. We have a bunch of print jobs coming in. I'm going to take them as long as they're for December, because I think we can manage to do all of them, which I'm completely okay with. It will help my reputation a little bit, I guess. I don't really know if it will. But what I would like to do is, well, this patent is about to be done, which is fantastic, but I would like to start looking at building a console. So if we go into operating system and we go to console, we're going to have some options here, and we're going to need a lot of people to make this happen, and also manufacturing, and we have to design it. But I think we're going to try and just call this the Nexus. I want to say Nextbox, because the Xbox was named after, originally it was the DirectX box, because DirectX was like a graphics rendering thing. It's still used, I think, but it was a home console that used like DirectX, which was like PC architecture. I'm very, very vague on this. I don't remember the specifics, but eventually it just became the Xbox instead of the DirectX box. So my thinking is that this is a console that could use sort of the idea of Nexus as an online distribution platform that you can go onto on your PC, and it sort of bakes that into a home console, so you can go onto that console and just get your games from the Nexus, right? That's my thinking. So I think it is going to be Nextbox, but I think we will have that capital B in there because I just like it. It's going to be Nextbox. That's fine. It's totally okay. We're going to figure out what this is going to be. So in terms of features, I want everything. I want my networking. I want 3D, all of that good stuff. I want system recovery and user accounts. I want people to be able to remove the drive. I think that's a good idea. And I think wireless, I want to say wireless communication. It's going to be coming out. I mean, it's 2009 now. And I think wireless controllers were pretty standard by this point. So we're going to do that. We don't need a unified search. We will do themes because I remember wanting to change the background on my Xbox 360 dashboard all the time. That seems good. We'll do auto updating, cloud backups, and I don't think it needs an app store. And obviously, we have a lot of wasted interest here, but my thinking is that as I've talked about before, I'm building a console based on what I think would be good for the company in sort of a storytelling perspective. Obviously, this isn't the optimal way to play the game. I know that. I'm just having some fun. Okay? Just so we're all on the same page there. It is recommending $295.84. I'm going to say $275 for this thing because why not? It's an original IP. It'll use a new, well, are there existing frameworks? No. So we'll call the engine for this, I guess the Nexus, since that's kind of what it's based off of. Source control is source control. Hosting is hosting. This all seems solid. I think what we'll do then is have a look at manufacturing for this, which we can sort of see here. We can get an idea of what it's going to need. So the controller is going to need 4 printers, and then the antenna will need 1. Those need to go into 2 assemblers, which will create the motherboard, which then goes into 1 assembler for final assembly. We have plastics and drives in 2 printers each going into 2 assemblers into final assembly, and that is for the console itself. So we can make that happen. It shouldn't be too difficult. If we go to the next page, we do want to do a joystick, which is going to be the Nexcon. So sort of like Joy-Cons, except Nexcon, because why not? And we're going to do vibration was a thing by 2009. We're doing wireless by this point. And I kind of want to say like big batteries in this because that's good for the end user. It's a lot of wasted interest, but we're really trying to make something. Well, maybe we don't do that much wasted interest. Let's do medium batteries and we'll do some hardware here as well. That's so actually no, motion detection we're not doing right now. This is fine. $100 for the controller. That's ridiculous. We're going to do $75, which is still, I think Xbox 360 controllers at this stage were like 50, probably like what, $60 in 2009. I might be wrong on that, but I think that's what it was. And I'm going to say that nobody is going to be working on this right now because I'm going to need a dedicated manufacturing team for it. And I also have to design the controller and the console. So very quickly, let's figure out what this is going to look like. Let's go through. So that's my style options. Let me randomize a little bit to see what we can get our hands on in terms. That one's pretty cool. That looks like like a Sega Saturn controller, sort of. It's a little bit too wide, but it's very close. That's odd looking. I want something that does resemble, well, this, an Xbox controller. If I make it a little bit sort of wider somehow, there is an option for it. There we go. A little bit wider. That's sort of, that's pretty much an Xbox controller is what it is. We can indent the face a little bit if we want to. I do like the idea of having that, that face indentation. I think we'll keep it a little curvy. And you know what? I think we'll bring that face indentation back in because it does look a little bit weird. We'll have it nice and sort of flat on the front. For the back, I want the triggers to be sticking out a little bit. I want the handles to be a little bit thicker. I think that's pretty good. That's basically what I want it to be. Color scheme wise, I think we're going to go white. And then the secondary is going to be like a gray. Again, sort of going for that Xbox 360 vibe with this. And then the tertiary, I might really lean into that Xbox 360 vibe and go for like the green on there, which isn't really a color that Nerdrasoft uses, but this is us sort of setting ourselves apart a little bit is what I'm thinking. This is us being like, yeah, this is something different. This isn't something we've really done before. And I kind of like that. I also want to make the trigger buttons and the bumpers just a little bigger because I think it's going to look better if they are both wider and, well, just all of that good stuff, a little bit bigger there as well. I think that's about the same, which is fine. And do I want them to be nice and round or do I want them to be flat? I think round for the bumper buttons. I think that's a good idea. And you know, I think this right here is going to be the Nexcon, which is a really weird name for the controller, but it looks pretty decent. I think that trigger is a little bit too small. I think it needs to be just a bit bigger if I can get it to be slightly bigger. I'm not really too sure. There's what I'm looking for. A nice big trigger on that thing is a little bit better. We'll go for as big as we can go on that one as well. I don't know if they're positioned exactly evenly, but I like this as our controller. I'd maybe just go a little slimmer there because I do kind of like that. I think that's pretty good. I think that is our controller. That is what I'm looking for. And I think we'll go about there. The handles are good. The bottom doesn't really need to skew all that much. I think it's perfectly fine. That's the design. $75. Doesn't have a hardware designer. We will figure it out. That's not a problem. We'll start developing it. No one's competent. Whatever. That's fine. It is not the end of the world. We do need to go back though, and we do need to design the console itself, which needs to look sort of like, well, it needs to look sort of like an Xbox is where we're at with this. It needs to look sort of like an Xbox 360 since that's kind of the vibe that we're going for. That has the curve. It's going to look sort of like an original Xbox 360 though. So it's not going to have that indentation there in the middle, none of that stuff. So it doesn't have the step basically. It's going to be something like that. Can I get it to be, that's the middle mod. Can I scale? That's what I want. I want it to be nice and sort of just set like that. I can also change all of this. That one right there is very similar to the Xbox One design. I know a lot about consoles, man. I do miss just being a really simple, like just keeping things simple. That almost sounded really, really mean towards console gamers. I didn't mean like, console gamers, really simple. I miss how easy things were with consoles. Like you just, for the most part, you just kind of plug the game in and away you go. I do miss that. I really, really do. And so it was a nice time is what it was. I don't want this thing to be particularly round. We'll give it a little bit of a curve there. And I might make it a little bit thinner if I can. One of these is going to be the width, I'm sure. That's the taper. I guess it could be flared a little bit at the bottom, but I kind of like that. One of these, that's the width. I think that's pretty good. I think that's kind of what I'm looking for. I don't know if one of these, so top curve is that part. Oh, that needs to come in a little bit so that those are roughly even, which I think that is. I don't know if there's much more I can do with it. So I think what we'll do is keep it simple and go for just white. And white, that bit is going to be super reflective. Can I sort of change this up so we have something that's a little simpler. I like that. Then the tertiary, did I bother to get the, that is not what I'm looking for. I want to see, do we have like an accent anywhere? We have that. Do I want to make that bright green? is my question. Is there any way in which I can make the bright green part not look silly? I don't think there is. So we're going to keep that red for a second because I need to go to the next page. I need to go to the next con. I need to go to design, and I need to grab the green color, which is all done. We can go back. We can go to design here, and we're going to make that the same sort of green color. So that is our console. That is going to be the next box. Now, when it comes to market targeting, we want to go in for simplicity. Apparently, that's interesting. We're going all in on simplicity. And I think I'm going to look at maybe just balancing this a little bit better, just so I can get that 100% expected interest, which is good. We're still going all in on this just being a one-stop shop device. It is going to access the Nexus, and it's going to be amazing. We also very quickly want to patent the systems thing down there. This seems good. This seems like what we want to do. So if we go to the next page, we are going to need 7 designers, 14 programmers, and 1 artist. Obviously, these guys are not going to be doing any of that, which is totally fine. And we're going to just develop this. No one's working on it. That's fine. So the next box and the next con are both going to need quite a bit of work, really. The manufacturing for the next box itself is all of this, and then the joystick is there, which we can work on as well. That's mostly just hardware. So I think what we'll do is try and get ourselves a team for it. So let's have our labels. We have these 2 floors to play with, and these 2 floors have 13 and 13 plus a leader and potentially some project management. I don't know that we need, what, 52 people? 13 and 13 is what, 26? So double that. Yeah, 52. I don't think we need 52 people in this team. I think what we can do is make a console team. We will get them added here, and they can be that same bright green color, which apparently I didn't copy from here. That's problematic. Okay, they're going to be this sort of bright green color right there. The thing that I pasted in there, by the way, I took a screenshot of the console for the video thumbnail, and it automatically uploads to some website or other. So that's what was pasted in there, not the hex code. But that's about the right color for the console team. We'll go in, we'll select these 3 spaces and assign it to the console team. And then obviously the carpets and the chairs need a little bit of work as well. And you know, since we're going for that Xbox 360 vibe for our first console, I figured we'd just sort of change out this space in general to look a little bit more interesting. Who are you? You are, oh, you're with IT. You're repairing that computer. That's fine. Okay, well, I was slightly worried that someone was going into that space without me hiring anybody. But what we can do is get ourselves a lead programmer. We're going to be doing all of this stuff as per usual. Sort by skill. Valerie Waters. That's perfect. That's who we're looking for. So we want to get ourselves Valerie onto the console team. And then we can go and manage the console team. And Valerie, you are going to be changing out for just a leader. And I think I'm also going to have you as a designer, just to see if you can actually do, well, consoles. I'm not too sure if you can, but we're going to figure that out together is what we're going to do. So what I want to do is see what the next box itself needs. I'm actually tempted to say next box just because it feels, I mean, I don't know. We'll go with next box for now. It's fine. 7 designers, 14 programmers, and 1 artist. If we have a look at the console team and go to HR management, we want to go in here to specializations, and we want to say that we need systems, we need hardware, we need 2D, 3D, audio, and network. So we need everything, which is good. That's perfect. We want people that are fast learners, and I don't want these for things. We are going to want high salaries because I think that's going to be important. Education is important as well. We'll do 5 people. And then we need to figure out the numbers. So 14 and 7 is 21, and 1 artist is 22. That leaves 4 spots available. So I think what we'll do is sort by salary. We'll do best, then secondary. We'll do a $3 million budget, and we will say, let's start with 14 programmers. Let's go with 7 designers and 1 artist. just so we get that going. And like I said, that leaves 4 spots available. So I'm going to say, let's say 2 more artists and let's say 2 more designers. And that should be okay. That should let us do everything that we want to do here. So hopefully that fills out in no time at all. And that's actually making me think that, did I mess up HR management in here? 11 programmers, 7 designers. Let me just double check that notebook is set up the way I need it to be. Yeah, it's doing fine. It has enough of everybody, so I didn't totally screw that up, which is good. All right, so the console team should be able to manage Nextbox and Nextcon, so we will assign it to the console team right there and assign to the console team right there. I'm not really too worried about them prioritizing the controller. I would like them to prioritize the console itself. And I suppose now is as good a time as any for me to go in and start figuring out the manufacturing on these things, because that is a whole process in and of itself. So the next box is going to need 4, 5, 7, 9 printers, 4 assemblers, and then 1 final assembler. We are feeding these 5 printers into these 2 assemblers. We are feeding these 4 printers into these 2 assemblers, and then those 4 assemblers into the 1 assembler at the end. So 4, 1, 2, and 2. Let's figure out a layout for that. Let's go into build mode. Let's go into distribution, and we want to get some component printers. So it was 4. I've already forgotten. It was 4, 1, 2, and 2. How am I going to do it? So 4 and 1. We can do that relatively easy. We will say that we have, I think we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. That should be okay. And I'm not, well, we can go for the fast conveyor belts, I suppose. It doesn't really matter too much. We'll have these guys come out a little bit because we have got enough space in this warehouse. I think we can get away with doing this. We are going to bring all of these together. I don't think it makes too much sense to feed it all together, but it should be okay. And then what I'd like to do is immediately send those into a conveyor splitter, because if we bring them into a splitter, it should split things off nice and easily into the assemblers that we need. So the assemblers in this case are going to go here and here, and then we will get ourselves some fast conveyor belts there and there. And that seems fine. So if we have a look at manufacturing, these guys are set up to make controllers. So console operating system is what we're doing. So controllers are going to go from here. And then this one is going to be set up for the antenna into these guys, which are set up to make the motherboard. So these guys aren't complaining. This guy is complaining. It needs to go to an assembler. We will do that in just a moment. We also need to do 2 more for plastics and 2 more for drive bays. So I'm kind of wondering if I can feed them all into this little space over here. I think we will have the room for it. So we'll move this up and we'll see what we can do. We need more printers. I'm thinking I want to try this. I want to try and put them into this space. So we'll do 2 there and 2 there. I might move them down just a little bit because I think I can have some fun with this. We'll go to here. We'll go and do here, and that should be fine. I could put them against the wall, but I don't think I need to. I might just space this all out a little bit more though. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. I want to bring these guys this way, and I want to bring these guys this way, and then feed this through to here is my thinking. Then that'll probably go into a splitter as well, because I think we have 2 assemblers. All of this is going to need shifted a little bit, I think. I think this all needs to kind of move over to the right by like a single tile. And I'm also thinking I can make this a little bit easier here. I can get rid of that conveyor and just move this guy to here, so that feeds straight through. And then over this way, I can do the same thing. So I can go here, I can go here, I can get my fast conveyor belt like this. And we need plastics and drive bays out of these guys. So this is plastics. This is going to be drive bays, and then these guys are for the case. And now that all of that's done, I should be able to feed this all into just a relatively simple set of conveyor belts. So let's figure out if we can do that. Let's, I don't know how silly I want to get with this. I think this can maybe turn around is what we can do. So we'll have this all sort of feed. So all of the final assemblers feed into a single conveyor belt, which is fine. This layout is, it's not my best. I'm gonna be honest. It's definitely not my best. And I'm already looking at ways that I could potentially make it better. And I think I'm going to. Okay, so this is our console manufacturing setup. It's a bit of a mess. It really didn't turn out quite how I wanted it to, but it does the job. We have everything getting made here. We have product printing over this way, and I've started sending some products up onto the catwalks just because it lets staff sort of walk underneath here, and I think it looks kind of cool. I've also managed to split everything, so now all of my products go to the left here, where my consoles and eventually my controllers will go to the right. And that actually brings me to the next step, which is the Nexcon controller. It needs battery packs, controllers, rumble units, and plastics. So we need to set up a whole other thing again, which is a bit of a pain, but that's fine. We need 5 printers for this first step, and this is going to go right in the middle here. So let's try and do something that's not quite as chaotic as all of this. We'll go for this space over here because I think it's probably fair enough. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I want to split these up slightly differently. I think I want to do that. And if we assign these guys, this is the joystick. We're doing, I believe, medium battery packs, if I'm not mistaken. And then 4 for controllers. So we can get those assigned like so, which is totally fine. Those go into 2 assemblers. And then into 2 final assemblers, which is completely fine. We need 1 and 1 for rumble units and plastics. So yeah, that should be fine as well. We can probably make that work. I think what we'll do is maybe, oh, how am I going to do this? I really hadn't thought about this. So what is this doing? This is going into 2 assemblers. So if we do, let's say something like this and this for the assemblers, we can go ahead and get those set up for the motherboard, which is fine. These guys are going to come out that way, and then like this. I think this actually needs moved to there. You get copied to there, and then we do another one of these, and we get ourselves a conveyor splitter. So that links all of this together, which is totally fine. And then we needed the 1 and the 1 for the rumble unit and the plastics. So we'll get a printer and we'll do, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Could I make this a little bit more compact? I think I could. Move this sort of all down to there. Gives me just a little bit more room in this area, which I'm happy about. We'll do, I could probably do this in a, I could make this so much more compact, I'm sure. I think moving this all back might be a good idea. So we'll just sort of shift it back to there, which is a totally fine spot for it. And then printer. This is going to be, was it rumble unit and plastic? So it was plastics and rumble unit, which is fine. We want to get ourselves this guy and this guy. We'll send that straight into a splitter, which is going to be set up a little something like this, which I think is what we needed, right? We need the case. And then all of this needs to go into a single conveyor belt and then get split into 2 final assemblers. So let's bring these guys down, bring these guys up, bring these ones over, and then into a conveyor splitter right here. We can then do into some more conveyor belts right there, into some component assemblers right there, which might be slightly tricky, but we'll see if this works. That's going to be final assembly, which is great. And then my hope is that I can just get away with doing that, which I can't because I need a recycler after all of this. So the recycler can live there. And so now we have controllers getting made on this production line, consoles getting made on this production line. Those get fed into this set of pallets, and all of my products get made up there. That is a pretty good looking warehouse, if I do say so myself. I would like to just sort of change the color of a bunch of things though, because it is all very beige looking. I want to go for a lot of white is what I'm thinking for a lot of these machines. And then maybe I might go grab sort of the next box green that we've been using for some of this, because I think that could look kind of cool for the console stuff. So let me very quickly go and grab this color right about here. That looks pretty good to me. And I think it's going to go, oh, do I want to redo the conveyor belts? I think I will redo the conveyor belts, but I don't think I'm going to do them in green. I think we're just going to say like a sort of nice dark color for the conveyor belts is totally fine. For these guys though, that's where things are going to change a little bit. I'm 100% putting next box green on a lot of these things. So let's see what that's going to look like. It is, ooh, that is a choice. That is a choice that I have made, and I'm kind of here for it. So you know what? We're going to stick with it and see if it works out. Primary in this is the input. So that's going to be, I think we'll go for the green there. Secondary is the output. I think we'll go blue on that, and then tertiary is the body of the thing. I think that looks okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to do green on all of it because it's cool. It's a good color scheme is what we've got going on there. And then these guys, similar story. We want to go for the white, and that is a little accent on there as well. Interesting. Ooh, that's going to be the green part. There we go. All right. Yeah, that is our production line for a console. That is everything set up. That should hopefully work. We don't have as many product printers as we used to, but that should be okay. I also love seeing them get fed around like that. That's very, very cool. Very big fan of that. That's very, very cool. I'm very pleased about this. Let me just make sure that this is in fact assigned to an assembly line. It absolutely is. Okay. We're making a console is what we're doing. We have a warehouse set up to make a console, and I'm absolutely here for it. I am absolutely here for it. Let me very quickly grab the color scheme for this conveyor belt because these guys need to be changed to match it as well. So let me grab all of these doors and then change this out for that color. And that looks pretty good. I like that a lot, man. I really, really do. I think that looks fantastic. Oh, I should probably mention that there is a little underground section here where the console production is going underground because it needed to. It's not accessible, but I don't think it needs to be. I think we can get away with that. And I think it looks pretty good having that go underground. That's something I might dabble with a little bit more later on to tidy some of this up. But for now, I like this. I think this looks pretty good. I like seeing all the conveyor belts. I'm very, very happy about that. I also want to check my console team. They are starting to fill out, which is fantastic. So we should see, hopefully, some console production in no time at all. We also have 2009 systems research done, so we are going to try and patent that as quickly as we possibly can, which would be nice because we did happen to get the 2008 one right there. We get 2007 and 2008, one after the other. So we're going to be getting a lot of money out of all of that, which is very exciting. Plumbob is still sort of on track for September 2009. It's a little slower than I would like, but that's totally fine. FrameOS 2 is not making as much money as I had hoped it would, but that is probably fine as well. And we have some deals coming in for a lot of hosting, including G-Unit. So sure, we'll accept those and we will take this printing job. 4.2 million by December. Might be ambitious. Apparently we can do it though, so we're going to give it a shot and see if that ends up being true. If we have a look at manufacturing, we can currently do 432 boxes per month. Our shipping capacity is 702. So it actually might not be a bad idea to maybe find a way to get more printers in here. I suppose I could do something underground. I might actually do that. I think I will actually do that now that I think about it. We will do a little underground thing here for product printing. That seems like a good idea. I'm hoping these rooms line up the way I want them to. I'm not 100% sure that they actually do, which is slightly unfortunate, but that should be fine. I can kind of figure things out is what I can do. I'm just going to make sort of a big space right here for now. I want to grab all these and merge them together. And then I don't think I need an elevator for this. I think I can get away with just having some stairs because it's just going to be for maintenance to get down there. And the stairs are going to live there. Yep, that's actually a pretty good spot for them. They're going to be sort of industrial looking because I think that makes sense as well. I think that looks pretty good. I'm okay with that. And then basically, I want to try and copy this. I want to take this underground, and one way or another, we're going to then bring it back up so it connects to everything, and we can kind of double our production capacity, which I think would be amazing. So this goes here, and I think that lines up pretty well. I will probably want some lights down here as well, but very quickly, we'll just copy this over a couple of times, which is fine. And then we can go in and get ourselves just a few lights so I can see what's going on down here. We'll get the fluorescent lamps, since I think that probably makes the most sense. Right about there, 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 and there. And you know what? We'll do them here, and we'll do them, I guess, in there as well, because I think employees will need to get access to that. So now what I want to do is go back into distribution, and I want to bring something up from here is what I want to do. Maybe not from there, but in fact from there. So all of these products need to come out of these conveyor belts and go this way. And that's how we're going to take them upstairs. And that should be pretty good. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. This might be a really good setup for my products. I'm absolutely here for it. I would like to go in and just make this room a little smaller. I don't want it to be any bigger than it needs to be. So that bit can go away. And I want to say this corner can go away as well, because we really don't need it. I want to say this little corner can kind of go away as well, because we really don't need it. And that seems fine. I don't know if we need a smoke alarm down here, and I don't know if we need sprinklers, but we're going to get both just in case. And that seems good. That should really make my product printing capacity kind of ridiculous now. And I'm here for it. I want to have a look and see what we can do. We can now do 864 boxes. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. We should have everything coming up here now, which is so good. There we go. We've got so many products coming out here. We'll have no problem doing contracts now, which is good. That's, again, that's what we're looking for. Oh, look at this. This is absolutely perfect. We have a lot of production going on now. That's pretty cool. The next con is going really quickly as well. The next box is going pretty fast too, which is great. I don't really care for the next con to go all that quickly. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it needs to be a priority. So we'll have it down there at 1, where the next box itself is going to be priority 10. And I also want to see what my awards are. Best employer. Is it me? It absolutely is. Of course it's me. Best product is not me. Hello? What did you do? And then most profitable product, was it me? It was. That's a very confusing set of awards, but okay. I'll take it. We're slowly filling out the awards room, which is, look, I'm still I'm still hurt after what's happened in this awards room, but it's fine. We got best employer 2 years running, so that's pretty good. Another couple of awards and we fill up that shelf, which is great. We do only have awards going back to 2004 for reasons that we shall not discuss, because every time I do, I get really tilted about it, but it's fine. It's okay. It's totally okay. Nothing to worry about whatsoever. We've just been robbed a few times. Now, annoyingly, Plumbob has just reached its beta phase because I had to assign the 2D editor team to finish the 2D art on this thing. It goes out next month. That's not exactly ideal, but what I think we'll do is set a maximum of, let's say 50,000 copies. It is an antivirus software. I think it's subscription based as well, so that might be a bit of a problem, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. It's 79 followers. It's gonna struggle. Let's be honest. It's gonna struggle a little bit. I'm gonna throw marketing at this press release just to make sure. I think we're actually you know what, just release it. That's fine. We'll just send that press release out there. It's going out next month. I want to see if Plumbob's gonna be a success. I want to see if it's gonna be good as well, to be totally honest. So should be interesting. It should definitely be interesting to see if Plumbob is decent. And I guess, you know what? We'll send it out. Is it any good? It is a magnificent piece of work. 4 stars. Only found some small issues and they've never heard of us before. That's fine. Marketing is going to be I'm gonna say $35,000, and we'll order some copies as well. We'll move this up to a top priority, and I want to go ahead to plumbob immediately, and I want to update this. So network and 2D and systems, and then the 2D editor is I don't want to use it, but I'm going to, just because I think it probably makes the most sense. We'll get the updates team working on that. Hopefully they can do it. They might not. Well, yeah. We'll see how that goes. See if the updates team can do that. Porting, of course, is going to be port team 1. They have nothing to do right now. So active users, we're going to go down the list basically all the way to... Is Frame OS the original on here? Not really. Let's go down the list until about there, which is totally fine. That's a decent number of active users. And we'll see what happens. Let's make it a top priority to get that updated and ported. Everybody should be in a couple of hours, which is great. And hopefully neither of these tasks take particularly long to do. The update looks like it'll be no time at all. The port is going pretty fast as well, which is great news. I'm not 100% sure that update's going to get done today though. So I think I'm going to put the 2D editor team on that as well, just to speed up the, yeah, there's 2D art that needs done on that. So making sure that gets done, kind of a priority. It doesn't look like it's actually going to get done today though. Do I have any decent night shift teams that could work on this? We have the legal team and we have systems research night. So no is the answer to that question. That update is not going to get done today, which is a bit unfortunate, but I do want to see, is plumbob any good? It is outstanding and ordinary, which is unfortunate. It's the first time. Well, I don't think it's the first time, but it's the first time in a very long time that something has been ordinary. It doesn't have to make a lot of money though, which is good. So there's a chance it'll make some money. There's definitely a chance that it'll make some money. Minus 35,000 is going to turn into minus 173,000. What? Huh? That's, so it lost money? Presumably because I ordered copies or printed. Wait, no. It's subscription based, right? It's subscription based. It sold 20,000 units. Okay, hold on. We're okay. It might end up making money. I don't know. I actually don't know. Yeah, that's worrying. Nerdisoft Echo 4 with 847,000 active users has no one left to sell to. Is the Echo project not handling porting? It should be. Let's have a very quick look at Nerdisoft Echo 4. It has done 148 million in just over a year and a half, so that might be part of the problem, I guess. Let me have a look at the port for this though and see, is there anything we could port it to? We could. There are some active users there that could be given out to. So we'll see how that goes. January 2011 for Echo 5, November 2010 for Pixel 6, and August 2010 for Voxel 4. That's not bad either. Nextbox is coming along, which is great. This patent is coming along, which is great. Updating plumbob is hopefully going to happen. I'm really hoping that's going to happen. I do want the priority to be on the port down there. So, well, you know what? Echo should probably have a priority as well. We'll make it more of a priority than plumbob, I think. That seems fair. The plumbob update is done though, which is good. We are, of course, losing money because of marketing, which is delightful. Really love that. Prominent marketing. I hope it makes money, man. I'm going to be slightly disappointed if it doesn't, because it's outstanding, you know? It is outstanding. It's just that it's $5, right? So the theory is that for as long as we keep active users, they will keep paying us $5. So I think that's the idea. I think that's how it works. Really, it just lost even more money, which is ridiculous. Yeah, it's sold 78,000 units. It has 57,000 active users. I don't know how subscription software works. I really don't. I really don't. I might have made a terrible, terrible mistake with this. That's, yeah. You know what? It's fine. The next one won't be a subscription-based software. It'll just be something you buy, and then we can throw it to project management, and everything will be okay. That was my mistake, but I won't make it a second time. That's for sure. Oh, look at this. It just made money. $136,000 on plumbob is pretty good. It has 253,000 active users. There's, well, 253,000 units sold, 90,000 active users. We are still porting it, which is fine. And it is also January 2010, which means it is time to research Systems 2010, because of course it is. We want to stay on top of this. We want to make sure that we are making all of that research money. That is the goal. We've done pretty good money on Systems so far. So almost $500 million off of research is ridiculous, but I'm here for it. I'm also thinking, just very quickly, I do want to do some contracts because I think it's probably fair enough. I'm thinking we'll do some basic stuff. We'll do logistics applications, and I'm going to give that to it's one designer, one programmer. So we can give it to a relatively small team, which is, I don't know, antivirus. They're not doing anything right now. Lead designer can be, I don't know, you've done plumbob, so we'll give it to you just so you feel a little bit better about yourself. Development teams could probably be antivirus as well. I'm pretty sure they'll get that done. We'll do some embedded systems. This is a bit of a bigger team. We'll give it to 2D editor. I don't know if they're doing anything right now. I just want to take a bunch of contracts so that I can hopefully really boost my business reputation. So that's kind of the goal. We'll go down the line here though. We'll give this one to the OS team because I think that's probably fair enough. That's going to be Rodrigo leading up that one. So we'll accept it. And again, logistics, we could probably give 2 of them to the OS team, to be totally honest. So we'll do that. And then we have 4 contracts down at the bottom here that I should, if I speed things up a little bit, be able to get through really, really quickly. And I'm hoping that's going to take us from 3 to 4 stars in relatively, hopefully, not a whole lot of time at all. This one, for example, I think we can probably go ahead and start developing. And then I think we can promote. And I want to say we can probably develop the rest of these as well, because it's a little bit later in the day. This one can be finished, which was outstanding quality. That's good. The rest of these might be a tomorrow kind of thing, unfortunately. This one is outstanding quality. We're almost at 4 stars. We also passed a fire inspection, which is great. These 2 down here we can do tomorrow, and that'll be fine. That should absolutely push us to 4 stars, which is what I'm looking for. Do we have anything going out this year? We do. Voxel's been brought forward to March of 2010. Not bad. I would imagine Echo is going to be a 2010 release as well. We're also getting really slow on the audio art of these 2 games. So I think I'm going to put the audio team on both of these to try and get them just across the finish line so that we can get both Space Command 4 and Private Stabby Face out in 2010. People are noticing, as we have seen, that we haven't put out a first-person shooter game in a while. We kind of need to get on top of that. I'm also thinking you can be promoted, you can be promoted, you can be finished, and you can be finished. Those were inadequate quality? Ooh. That's unfortunate. Okay. I might have wanted to stay on top of those. We can also move Notebook into development now, which is great news. Hopefully not going to take too long to get that out the door. I think the next box can probably sit around until it gets its 4th iteration done. The same can be said for the controller. This patent is almost done, and porting plumbob is nearly done as well. Research is going really well. Everything's going pretty well, honestly. Plumbob is, I want to say, unlikely to make a profit because it needs to make a lot. Well, 1.4 million isn't really that much in the grand scheme of things, but it needs to make 1.4 million off of a $5 monthly subscription. So I don't know that it will do that, but it's okay. I'm not super worried about it. We're still doing 20 million a month, so really no major complaints from me at the moment. Anyway, I think we can probably go ahead and leave it there for today. We've started console production, which is a pretty huge step for the company. I'm very excited to see how that goes and, you know, to see if the next box is going to be something good. It is going to be a couple of years away, so it might be an episode or 2 away from release. We do not have a console going out this year, though. We don't look to have any consoles going out next year either. And then 2012 has a console going out in December. It has a console going out in November, and that's kind of interesting. There's a computer operating system going out in December 2013, computer operating system in December 2014, and that's about as far forward as we can see right now. So all things considered, I think we'll be all right if we aim for, if we could do December 2011, I think that would be ideal. I think that's ambitious. I don't think we're going to turn around a console in about a year and a half. So we might need to aim 2012. It seems like a really bad time with two other consoles going out. 2013 might be the one. Early 2013, maybe sort of February, March 2013 for our own console might be the way to go with it, but we'll see what happens. We do have Systems 2009 ready to go for the patent, which is fantastic. So I think we can leave it there for today. We're making really good progress. We have $1.3 billion in the company. We are worth the most out of anybody. These guys are the closest. They're worth $500 million. We have almost 3 times that, which is amazing. And yeah, that's going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.